Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. In the last video, we have discussed about some commands to get the user specific details for current logged in user or any specific user in Linux. In case if you didn't watch that video, I strongly recommend you to go and watch it. You can find the link to that video in this video description. Okay, in this part of video, we will discuss about some useful commands to get the system information like operating system, Unix name, host name, system hardware, kernel name, release version, and many more. This is very useful when we want to check the system configuration or system name or system hardware, what are the configurations that this particular system is using, and any other crucial details on the Linux server. The commands we have here is uname, which is nothing but the Unix name. It will provide you the Unix name for the current Linux server or any system. The host name, the next command is the host name, which can provide you the host name of the server. And we have also hostnamectl command, which will give you additional information like static host name, and we can also set the host name for any Linux server using this command. And the uptime, it is nothing but the time from how long the current Linux server is up and running continuously. We will be able to know by using this command. We will discuss clearly on what information these commands can provide to us. If you want to know about the Linux system that you are using, like kernel name, the release version, hardware, architecture, then we have a command called uname. This is sometimes required by the system administrators to check the current system and if they want to upgrade or change it to the new hardware. So they have to check what is the current architecture, current configuration details in the Linux server or system. So we have a command in Linux to get all this information, and it is uname. It's like asking your computer, right? Computer or server, hey, who are you and what are you made of? Just it will print what the information it has with that. The uname command in Linux, which stands for Unix name, right, displays the system information including the kernel name, release version, hardware architecture, and many more things. It's a quick way to identify the operating system and hardware details of a machine. And we have many options that we can use with this along with the uname command. So if you want to print all the available information in one shot, right, we can use the option -a or we can use -all. So it prints all the system information in the following order, right? Kernel name, first it will print the kernel name, next it will print the network node host name and the kernel release date and the kernel version, machine hardware name, and also the hardware platform, and then operating system, right? All the relevant information you can see at a time by using the option -a. As -a option printing all the information at a one time, also we can use below options like other options we have to see the same information in separate ways, right? If you want to see only the kernel name, then we can use the option -s, right? Simple. You don't want all the other information, you just want the kernel name, then you can use -s option. In the same way, if you want to print the only the host name or the network node name, then you can use -n, right? Same way, -r prints the kernel release date, or -v prints the current kernel name, and -m prints the machine hardware, -p prints the processor name, -i prints the hardware platform of the hardware, and -o prints the operating system that is running with the current Linux system. Okay, let's log into the shell, and I will show you by running this command along with all these options. So right now I am in shell, logged into shell, that Ubuntu server using the admin user. I have logged into the Ubuntu installed on WSL on Windows 11 operating system. Right. Right now we are here to discuss about the uname command that we have discussed earlier. That if you want to know system hardware details or the Linux operating system details, this is the command which is very useful. The command is nothing but uname. If I run the command without any options, it will just print the Linux in this case, which is the operating system name or the kernel name. Right, if you want more information, all the available information in this particular server, like what is the hardware it is using, what is the processor it is using, what is the kernel version, what is the kernel release it is using, we have the option -a, right? Let's run the uname command with the option -a and see the output. It displayed the first one is the kernel name, and then the network node host name, and then kernel release date, and then kernel version, and machine hardware name, and hardware platform, and then operating system name. So you can see all the information at a time using the option -a. First, suppose if you want to see the same information in separate parts, like if you want to see only the operating system name, or if you want to see only the kernel name, right? If we have the separate options for each of this need. First, suppose if you want to see only the kernel name, just simple, we will use the option -s. It just prints the kernel name. Or if you want to see only the host name, then you will use the option -n. Right, see, it printed the host name of this particular Linux server. And in case if you want to see the kernel release date, -r is the option for this. Perfect. And then if you want to see only the kernel version, current kernel version, the option is -v. You can see the details there, right, about the kernel version. And if you want to see the machine hardware, we have the option -m, right? -m is the option which prints the hardware details, and also have the processor details as well with the option -p, and you can see the processor details. And if you want to see my operating system name, you can use the option -o. So this is very useful for the system administrators, like when they want to upgrade the system or see the current configuration of the system to troubleshoot any performance issues, or if they want to upgrade to the new hardware or increase the hardware processor or memory, many kind of tasks they can do using this command. And it is very useful when someone is writing a shell scripting, and if they want to see what is the right now, what is the operating system, what is the hardware, if they want, in case if they want to use, definitely this is a very useful command in Linux that we can use, right? The hostname command in Linux is used to obtain the DNS name and set the system's hostname or the network information system domain name. We can get the hostname of any Linux server using the hostname command. We can also set the temporary hostname, not the permanent, but we can set the hostname or change the hostname temporarily to any server. A hostname is a name given to a computer or server and attached to the network, right? Say many servers over network, we have many servers. How to identify each server on the network? So its main purpose is to uniquely identify over a network. To identify any server or system over network, the host name or the IP is the way to find them, right? You already know that. We can get the IP address instead of host name by using the option -i along with the host name. We can also set the host name for any system or server, but it is temporary, so it's not recommended to set the host name or change the host name using the hostname command. We have another command to set the static hostname or permanent hostname. We have command hostnamectl that we will discuss in next few minutes. We can also see the hostname from a file which is located under /etc. We have a file name called hostname. Using the cat command, the cat command will display the contents of the file on the screen. So we can use the hostname file which is located under /etc/ by using the commands cat/etc/hostname. It will display the hostname of this particular Linux server. Right now, let's log into the shell and try this hostname command. So right now I am in Ubuntu shell, and we can try the command hostname. If I run the command hostname, you can see the hostname. It will print the hostname of this Linux server. You can see the output there. You can provide the option -i to get the IP address of this particular Linux system. see it will print the IP address instead of host name using the -i option. As I discussed, we can change or set the name host name temporarily using the hostname command. The syntax is nothing but just hostname and provide the new hostname that you want to try. It is not recommended to do, but I will show you how it will work. You can observe the current hostname is laptop -27H600C9, and if if I want to change just like new host, for example, so I'm changing the host name, current host name, to the new host name, which is a new host. It will give you an error because see the message there. I know, but I want to show you. You must be root to change the host name. As we discussed, we have user called root in Linux, which is a super user, and to perform some tasks, definitely we need root access, right? And I have explained you about the sudo command. So we are switching the user and doing the command. If you use the command sudo, it will change. It will run the command as root. I will use the sudo and say host name and the new host. Hope you understand this, right? So it changed. Right now, if I execute the command host name, it will print the new host. See, it changed. So, but the change is temporary. If I log out and log in again, the host name will be the as it is, laptop -2. The old, what is the current earlier host name is there, that will be there. So it is not recommended, but the option is there. As I discussed, there is one more command, hostnamectl, that we will discuss in a few minutes. With that, we can permanently change or set the host name for any Linux server, right? As I discussed, we have the file name called hostname, which is under /etc directory. We can get the hostname from that file as well. We have a command called cat, which will display the contents of any file, right? Let's go to the directory /etc, or directly you can run the command cat/etc/hostname. This is the file. You can see the hostname is laptop -27H600C9. So the same content is displayed when you use the command host name, right? So if you want to see some additional information apart from hostname, we can use the hostnamectl command, right, to display both hostname and some additional information about your system. Just like it will display the static hostname, pretty hostname, machine hardware, processor name, and the exact operating system name that we are using in the Linux system. So it is very useful when you want to see some additional information in a tabular format. I will show you the output in few minutes while we are running the command in shell. So also we can permanently change the host name using this hostnamectl command. Before we saw the host name, but that is temporary change. It will not update any files on the Linux system. Once we log out and log in again, the host name will be the same as the old, right? The change is not permanent. But if you want to permanently change the host name for any Linux server, then you can use the command hostnamectl. The command we can use in the option set -hostname. You can see the command syntax, hostname space set -hostname space the new host name that you want to change to, right? This command will not only provide any output. This command will not provide any output. So run the command hostnamectl to verify the change, if it is not, the change is affected or not. You can use the command hostname or hostnamectl to just check the hostname. As I said, we have one more hostname, that is pretty hostname. That is, the pretty hostname is nothing but the hostname presented to the user. It will not this name is not visible to any other users or computers on a network. Got it? This is a pretty hostname that is used internally in the system. We can change pretty hostname as well with the command hostnamectl. So the command looks like as below, right? Hostnamectl set -hostname, the new pretty hostname that you want to change, and finally you have to provide -- pretty option. You have to mention that, right? It will change the pretty hostname, right? Let's log into the shell and see how to get the information using the hostnamectl command. Also how to change the hostname using this hostnamectl command. As a note, there is no need to reboot the system when we are changing the host name using the hostnamectl command. The change will be effect immediately. Okay. Right now I am in Ubuntu shell, logged in as admin user. Uh, we are here to run the command and test hostnamectl command. You can run the command hostnamectl to see the static hostname, pretty hostname, and some additional info. Let's run the command first. So it is displaying the hostname, static hostname, icon name, chassis like machine ID, boot ID, and operating system, and also the kernel version and hardware architecture you can see here. Right, the same details we were able to find with the command uname as well. If you hope you remember it. So this is another command that we can use, hostnamectl. But the main purpose of this hostnamectl command is to set or change the host name. If anybody want to change the host name of any Linux server or Linux system, that it is very useful, because we no need to reboot the system once we change the host name. Let's change the host name for this system and see how it work. The syntax, hope you remember, hostnamectl space set minus hostname space, then provide the hostname, new hostname that you want to change to. Here the current static hostname is laptop minus 27h600c9. I want this to change as new host, new minus host, right? Let's run the command, but it will fail. Intentionally I am doing this, don't worry, because this command needs the root permissions. Then we have to use the sudo to run the command. Right, now it will work. You know that this command will not provide any output, right? If you want to check whether the hostname is changed or not, then simply run the hostnamectl command again. Observe the static hostname, it is changed to new host, right? We are successful in changing the hostname using the hostnamectl command. And we also have the pretty hostname. Right now it is not set, the pretty hostname is not set to anything, so it is not showing. We can set or change the pretty hostname now using the same hostnamectl command, set minus hostname, and provide the pretty hostname like test host, as it will be visible to only the user, not the other users on the network. At the end, you have to provide the minus pretty option, then only it will change the pretty hostname, right? Run the command and see. Oh, sorry, I forgot again, it needs the sudo, as it will need the root permission, right? So the command completed. This will not provide any output. To check, you have to run the hostnamectl command again. Observe the pretty hostname, now it is displaying as test host. Right, this is the main purpose of hostnamectl command, to view the additional information apart from hostname, and we can change the hostname and the static hostname and the pretty hostname for any Linux server. Hope you understand it clearly. So if you want to know from how long the system is up and running, because you may face some space or memory issues, and while troubleshooting and figure out the root cause, you can use this information. Linux servers are not like personal systems. It will run for number of months, sometimes many months. So if you want to know from how long the system is running, we have a command called uptime. The uptime command in Linux displays the system's current time and how long it's been running, also the number of logged in users, and the system load averages for last 1 minute and 5 minutes and 15 minutes. Means the load, how much load the system is taking from in the last 1, 5 and 15 minutes, right? It's a quick way to get an overview of the system's health and activity, so that you can understand is there any possibility of coming up issues, or what is the reason for current issues that system is having. Right, we have couple of options we can use along with this uptime, and you can see the information is in more detailed way. right? We have minus s option, which displays the last time the system was started rather than the current uptime. Instead of uptime, it will display the time when the last system was started, means it timestamp that when the last time the system was started. And we have another option minus p, which displays the uptime in a more user friendly way, right? Example, like it will display the uptime in days, hours, and number of days, and number of hours, and number of minutes. Let's log into the shell and see by running this command how it will show that this output. So right now I'm in shell, logged in as admin user, and we are here to run the command uptime. As you know, it will display the time, how long the system is up and running. Just run the command and see uptime, and just hit the enter. You can see the first field shows the current system's time and how long how long it is running, and number of logged in users, load averages for last 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes, as we discussed. But it's clear, like we have a couple of options along with this command, that is minus, first one is the minus s option, where it will display the time the system was last started. So from this we can understand that when the system was last time started, it is around 2025 5/11/1, right? So at that time stamp, from that time it is running up and running. And we have another option, which is minus p, which displays the uptime in a more user friendly format. You can see that up 6 hours, from last 6 hours 9 minutes the system is up and running. We can easily understand using the minus p option, the output we can easily understand from how long the system is up and running. Okay, from this video we have learned that the uname command in Linux, which stands for Unix name, displays the system information including the kernel name, release version, hardware architecture, and more. And we have the hostname command, where we can get the hostname of any given computer or Linux system. Hostname is nothing but a name given to a computer and attached to the network. Like, it is a way we can identify any system on the network. And we can get the hostname of any Linux system using hostname command. We have another command, which is hostnamectl. We can permanently change the static hostname or pretty hostname without rebooting the system. That is the main purpose of hostnamectl command. Finally, we have seen that uptime command in Linux, which displays the system's current time, how long it's been running, and the number of logged in users, and also the system load averages for last 1, 5, and 15 minutes. This is the crucial information about the system that we can get from all these commands. That's it for this video. Hope you liked it, and I will see you in my next video with more interesting topics. Thank you.